най-лидиращи в университета факултет, това е факултета Международна икономика и бизнес администрация, защото естеството на профила на научните занимания на нашите преподаватели, на професионалните направления, които са в факултета, на дисциплините, които се изучават, до голяма степен предполагат именно комуникацията с бизнеса. За всички нас е ясно, че движението на бизнеса към науката и науката към бизнеса, поне в нашата страна, е един труден и сложен процес. В едната посока, ако говорим от страната на бизнеса, все още като че не трудно се осъзнава необходимостта за тясно партниране с университетите и с страната. От друга страна, вероятно университетите не успяват по най-добрия начин да отговорят на очакването на бизнеса. Но независимо от това, това движение продължава и ние се радваме, че все повече и повече са форумите като този, паралелно и много други форуми, подобни на срещи в университета с бизнеса ние правим. И ние изграждаме линията на доверие. Това беше една от последните срещи, които направих тук. Взаимното доверие. За това, че бизнесът може да разчита на това, което ние правим, а ние сме готови да отговорим на нуждите на бизнеса. Радвам се, че на конференцията днес виждам колеги от други държави, колеги от Ливан, от Унгария, от Русия. Тук е и господин Владимир Бренер от Израел. Добре дошли на всички колеги от чужбина. Радвам се, че сте сред нас. Радвам се, че тук са представители на бизнеса и на учениците от Варна, заедно с които се надяваме бъдещето наистина да бъде пълно. Пожелавам успех на конференцията, дано всеки да намери това, за което е дошъл тук сред нас. Благодаря и на инициаторите, на ръководството на факултета. Разбрах, че участниците в конференция са на 100. Знам колко трудно се организират толкова много хора да участват в една конференция. Успех и на добър час!
Нашето разбиране и проектите, които ще видите, е да търсим максимално интердисциплинарност. И тази интердисциплинарност ние искаме да ви я покажем още в самото начало. Искам да ви кажа, че дизайна и голяма част от проектите, които ще видите или може би вече сте успели да видите, са именно проекти, които сме правили съвместно с нашите колеги от различните факултети. Тук ми позволете да изкажа изключително силни думи на благодарност към колегите от архитектурния факултет и най-вече лично към доцент Капка Манасиева, която помогна дизайна на залата да придобие такъв артистичен и иновативен вид. А сега искам също да преминем към една много тържествена част и да дадем още по-силен старт на нашата конференция. Сред нас са двама колеги студенти, всъщност те са вече не са студенти, това са випускници на нашия университет, завършили две от най-интересните и престижни магистърски програми. Колегите, освен че постигнаха най-високите резултати в своето обучение, завършиха с пълно отличие на магистратурите си, са студенти, които се обучаваха с стипендии, предоставени от датското правителство. Това за нас е особено признак на признание за качеството, което предлагаме, за образователния продукт, който предоставяме на нашите студенти. И аз ще помоля господин Ян Янев да връчи дипломите на Неди Чакърова, която е завършила магистърска програма по Data Science с отличен 6.00. И покани също Ростислав Димитров, завършил магистърска програма Дигитален маркетинг и уеб дизайн с същия висок успех. И за да изстреляме в теб енергията и настроението в най-високата степен, аз благодаря на господин Янев, че ме предоставя на мен възможността да съобщя една наистина много хубава новина. Благодаря, господин Янев. Колеги, много труд стои зад работата, знаете, и на университета, и на факултета. И когато получиш признание за този труд, наистина тогава и мотивацията и желанието се усилват многократно. Вчера официално получихме информация от Националната агенция за оценяване и акредитация, че институционалната оценка на нашия университет е възможно една от най-високите към настоящия момент, 9,21, което е с 10 стотни по-високо от предходната ни преди 5 години. Мисля, че това е наистина много сериозен повод за гордост, за радост и това ни дава още по-голяма увереност в амбициите ни, в желанията ни от нататък да се развиваме. Така че поздравления към всички колеги. Сега, нека да пристъпим вече към деловата работа. Предоставям думата на главните организатори и инициатори на конференцията, доцент Галина Момчева, ръководител на катедра информатика и икономика, да премине към първия панел.
Аз исках да дам думата на Нели и на Ростислав да кажат по няколко думи, обаче вече ги изпървахме. Бизнесът ги тръгва вече, тъй като сега ще се позволя да кажа, че те имат много интересна история и това ще е последното нещо, което ще кажа на български. Ще преминем вече към официалния език на конференцията и заради нашите гости от Култура също. Нели и Ростислав са студенти, които дойдоха в университета на Еразъм мобилност и след като бяха тук като бакалавър на Еразъм мобилност, после се върнаха като наши студенти в магистърските програми. Те си живееха и учеха в Дания и сега след като и завършиха тези програми, бизнесът в България ги прибра и те вече живеят и работят в България. И считам, че това, не знам дали медиите ще ги посипят, които ги изкараха, но тези, които са вътре, нали се заслужават това да го чуят. Ами, благодаря ви. So I'm going to start now in English. So for every one of you that do not understand what we're speaking about, this was two of our brilliant students who we are graduated into very, very good master degree programs. Nelly actually is the first student in our university that is graduated in master degree program data science with excellent, full excellent marks. So now, as you know, and most of you were here last year, please welcome, take a seat. This conference was named Science and Visions for Smart Future, and for a lot of us, it's nothing new as a title. That's why we're going to show that here we're people who are different, who want to work together, and we can show something that we do. According to the registration, there are about 105 people, so some of them will be here later in the afternoon, some of them will be here tomorrow. But a very interesting thing is that half of the people have two hybrid profiles. Actually, they are not only master degree students or only practitioners, they are both. So, but here I put some kinds of statistics that is in order to use only one of their profile, and for sure, the interesting thing is that the number of the percentage of high school students. So you see them, you can see them. It is because they are interested in our research groups, and today, when me and my colleagues will present our work, they will decide to join in some of these groups. Moreover, they are interested from some of the companies that are here. For some of them, for example, want to print 3D balls. Some of them want to do something different. So it's very good, and they prefer to go to the conference to see people in action in order to decide in what company to go to internship. So this is the newest thing in our conference. As for the partners, these are the partners. Actually, two of them were mentioned, but we have people here who are representing Bulgarian Association of Software Industry, and also Data Science Society, and also ICT Cluster Varna, and all of other people and partners who are mentioned. So here are also a lot of companies that will demonstrate a lot of their things outside. And now we have also one different thing here. This is that this year we have posters from two groups of master degree programs. We have posters from the whole group of entrepreneurship master degree, and their team projects are listed outside. You can see, and also we have several projects of the master degree program of circular economy, and you can see and meet these people mainly tomorrow because they will come tomorrow. Now, as for the schedule here, I want to take a look and to point out that only 1 hour will be changed this from 11. And we put in the schedule opening ceremony for half an hour. That not because we have so many things to do in the opening ceremony, but because we know that coming here for the first time, everyone passes late. That's why. So the first panel will be the panel for research skills and research careers for business. And the focus of this panel is because we wanted to discuss and to show that research is not only for PhD people and for universities. And we know that nowadays there is a trend in companies in which there are gathering some kind, composing some kind of analytical teams or R&D, research and development, or research and innovation teams. And for these things, we have to be prepared. That's why we want to pay attention, really, we want to pay attention. We want to teach people from business companies that they need this, they need their research skills in order to do better business. Even though the business could be outsourcing and also they can do and have to do this. That's why I invited here two people. I will invite them after a second. Then about health tech practices, there are two panels in which you will see two types of persons. One type of persons are actually people who are working in universities, and another type of the persons are working in companies. So, but both of them are leading practices for research and innovation with joint teams with universities and business. And then, as for the poster session, you see a lot of empty places outside because I'm waiting for a lot of posters more. So you can take a look. Firstly, then you can open a text and you will see emote icons, and as like previous year, you can vote with them on the posters, and then we're going to count them and give awards during the cocktail. So that's why please use ethical things to vote, not only for your poster. So please, and if you decide to do a poster, you have time, you have 1 hour lunch time, so you can create, and then we will print here, and you will be published, your work will be published, and the people can vote for you too. Why we do this? Because we have to promote ourselves, we have to promote our organizations, universities or companies, and the main focus is that we want to create partnerships. So that's why we are doing all of the things. And after the poster session will be, as you see, this cocktail outside. One more thing we put with Professor Spasova and OPEX, except these things about voting, emote titles, we put also one set of Scrum cards. So how many people know what is this? Please raise your hands. Scrum cards. Six people. Okay, so we have to go to lecturing now. Yeah. So this is how to say a management practice usually used in software development, where people are going, sitting in a table, and discussing something about how to do their job, their particular task, and they are giving a card and they're telling, this will cost for me 20 minutes, for example, or this will cost for me eternity, or this will, I don't know what to do, let's drink a coffee. So, but we did some matching game for you because this is a conference for finding and searching for partnership. That's why there is no mistake, but some of these will be repeated, some of these you will not have. It is because you have to speak with other people, to swap them, to exchange them, in order to gather a full set of such cards. Is this clear now? Thank you. So now I want to tell you the people from the first panel. This panel will be for research and development skills and research careers. So I want to invite, first of all, Sylvia Nikolova, Manager Research and Development in a company for mobile marketing. Please welcome Sylvia. Then I want to invite Krasimir Kostadinov from Telefocus. Please take your seats. Then I want to invite Maria Zasheva to be here. Please welcome. And this is Anton O'Donnell from the last row, but he tells me on this way, so I am not inviting him here. But you can speak with him during the breaks, because he is really brilliant manager of a software company. And I am not sure, but if you want to evaluate IQ of the managers of IT companies, maybe he will be with higher score. So it's my suggestion. We can check this later. So Anton is very ashamed to speak about, but a lot of things that we're doing together I will share. So it's not a problem that will be only in this focus area. Now, because I like to do a dialogue and I don't like boring speeches, so I will interrupt you. I will invite people from the audience. I will exchange your places with somebody else, because this is the right way in which I have to moderate, and I can moderate this meeting now. So one thing that is very, very good is to share your practices. I want to please you to be short. And then I'm going to start questioning and so on and so on. And probably in order to not do something confusing and so on, I will start your presentations. And if you want, you can sit here for convenience. If you want to, you can speak from there. Okay, please. So I'm giving the floor. If I'm giving you the microphone, you will be.
Well, first of all, yeah, thanks. So, brief introduction first. My name is Krasimir Kostadinov, and I'm in charge of the consultancy, business at scale focus, the R&D department, and also the so-called technical pre-sales, which means, which includes POCs, MVPs, and so on for our customers and partners. That presentation is quite long, and I don't want to bore you with it. The shortest presentation I can give on how innovation happens, and we are still, actually, we have process in place for assessing innovation and investing into innovation. The R&D department at our company has a yearly budget that's totally not tied to any project, but we can explore ideas and try out solutions and so on. So innovation for me happens basically when the right ideas happen to stumble on the right problems, and that's the shortest explanation I can give. Some examples might be basically old ideas with new problems. For example, that's blockchain. old ideas such as the Merkle trees we have on since the 70s, most of the software engineering ideas, agile, whatever, it's all old ideas applied to new problems. Old ideas with old problems, for example, that's the last theorem of Fermat. Fermat's last theorem was pretty much resolved by a brilliant English guy using old ideas on an old problem. And new ideas on new problems. Quantum search, for example, with quantum computing. And quantum simulations are new ideas based on new technology and solving new problems. And last but not least, old new ideas on old problems. That's the most general field. Most of the stuff that is considered innovation nowadays, say Uber or Airbnb or whatever, you name it, are old problems resolved with new ideas. So that's the gist of it for me. And we have to create cultures within our companies and not only cultures, because you can always tell, well, we try to bolster a culture of innovation. You have to spend money. It's not only just a culture. So yeah, to be short, that's the gist of it, I think. We can talk on open innovation, we can talk on why companies don't innovate sometimes, and many, many more, what's tangible and intangible assets for a company and why one is more important than the other, and so on, but that's the gist of it. Thank you.
Could you pass another microphone? So, I wanted to ask about your company, and because your company was awarded, I think, last month. Is this award because you are an innovative company or not?
Yeah, we know people from the jury. It's we actually had a number of awards this year only, but the last award that we received was not only for innovation per se, but for Software Company of the Year, actually. But in software, we tend to innovate. Not only with software, we also produce hardware and so on, but in small quantities. But yes, you have to, and that's quite, we cherish the last award in particular because it was given from the members in, I was truly surprised, by the way, from the members of our own community, basically by other software companies voting. And that was quite important for us.
Okay, and I want to give her the floor to share this practice about innovation that you are engaged in the same company. Okay, please.
Okay, hi. I'm Maria. I'm a communications lead at Focus. What we do is we try to foster innovation as culture within the company. How we do that? We have our internal innovation challenge every year where we give wings to the ideas of our colleagues. So what happens is they gather in teams, they brainstorm on their idea, and with the help of mentors and our leads, such as Krest himself, they further develop their ideas into existing solutions. The winner from last year is actually a very innovative solution which helps people with disabled vision to cope with the environment. It's actually now patent pending, if I'm not mistaken.
Useful model, but
yeah.
Next year.
Yeah, next year hopefully. So yeah, that's what we do. We open it to all our colleagues, and we try to encourage them always to think outside of the box. And all managers, leads, and everyone in the company is open to sharing ideas, and everyone is encouraged to try and search for help if he wants to do something new, try something out. That's why we engage our people when deciding on what solution to provide to the client, and that's when they usually come up with good ideas, and the solution actually turns out to be better than the one we perspective in the first place. So that's what we do.
Okay, and as for this particular practice, what is the purpose of doing? Is this to engage a staff that is your staff in your company, or to attract new people to come and join your staff? What is the purpose?
Of the innovation challenge?
Yeah.
I would say it's a bit of both. We try to encourage our staff, and yeah, we'd like to attract new talent, which see this as a great thing to do, because I don't think any other Bulgarian company is doing such thing. I don't think any other software company is doing this. I'm not aware of that. We try to attract like-minded people in our company. We know that all of our colleagues are open to such things, and that's why we try to attract others as well.
Okay, thank you. And now I want to give the microphone to Sylvia. So short presentation of their practices. And if you want, you can sit here, yes.
All right. Hi everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Lieutenant Galamocho for inviting us. Right now, I would like to start with one slide just to present you just a brief overview of our company. My name is Sylvia Nikova, and I'm a director of client marketing at Poland Marketing, as well as I'm heading the R&D department in our company. Poland Marketing is working mainly with customers from the United States, small and mid-sized businesses, and what we offer to them is to basically optimize their business to be on the first page of Google. So we have several offices. The headquarters is in Las Vegas, we have in Varna, we have in Cebu, and actually we are planning to open one more in Mexico this year, so we are growing. So I'd like to focus on the R&D department of our company and what the main focus of this department in our company is. And it's mainly on doing competition research, marketing, competitive analysis, to be up to date with all the updates that are happening in Google, because that's the core of what we're doing and what we're offering to our customers. Improve the company know-how, of course, and develop new product and new services, and of course testing new techniques. So I'd like to focus on the last two main projects of the department, and it's mainly one of them. They were working on it for the last 6 months, and it was mainly for optimizing and automating part of the work process in the company. So as part of our job, in order to get our customers in the first page of Google, we will set up things in order for them to show up. One of them is, let's say, submitting to a bunch of directories and doing profiles and stuff like that. All this so far was done by a team of people in our company, about 25. And for the last 6 months, what R&D was working on was to research and develop a software that can automate all this, what they were doing, so we can direct those people into something that is more beneficial for us, for the company, and for the customers as well. I'm very happy to say that we are one step away from implementing the software and having those people doing something more, more valuable. The other big project that they are constantly working, by the way, we have 200 people in our company, and 20 of them is our R&D department, and it continues to grow. The other big project that they're constantly working on is we have called the customer therapy project, where they are constantly testing new things to add to the package that we offer to our customers, or they even go and analyze the, the performance of the current customers, if their website is performing well, if they're receiving enough calls, if they're happy with the service and stuff like that. And they're constantly working on improving the service and the product that we are offering to our customers. I'm happy to say that with the last tests and implementations that we did, we managed to increase the retention of our customers just because of those improvements with 5 to 8%. So that's huge for the company. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, this is the basics. So you're using identify skills, maybe activities, and some kind of, in order to engage your people. This percentage is 20 from 200. It's a very good percentage to have such type of thing. And you try, for example, to accept to enlarge these people.
Yes, of course, as I said, the team is growing.
Okay, and if you, for example, because you are the manager of this team, do you need more people or you don't need more people? What do you think?
We always need more people.
Do you think, because you are leading this team, do you think that you need for all of your staff to have some kind of research skills, even though they are not in this R&D team or department?
Well, not necessarily, not necessarily. I mean, that's something that can be developed in time, the research especially. But what we're looking mainly for is to have analytical thinking, to have like problem solving, to think outside of the box, to be able to generate ideas, to look the problem or the issue in different angles, and try to find solutions and propose things to be tested out.
And do you give more money for these people?
Yes, well, as I said, those people are actually there, kind of moving the company forward. So, of course.
So that's why. And if there are some kind of students here that they want to, for example, to go on internship that is more research, do you want to accept such type of people in your company?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Okay. So thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia is one of the representatives of the company that we're working with this company very much. And the first efforts with working with this company were only for the master degree program, digital marketing and web design. But now, from this year, we are trying to do together different internships in different specialities, for example, international business and others. So this is new type of trends. And we're evaluating what happens, what not happens nowadays. So it's very, very good example for me. Okay, now I want to ask you another question. This question is because of the nowadays very popular importance of STEM practices. So if you don't know, STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and focus on B. And me personally, I'm putting A in the middle, art in the middle, because I'm sure that everything is connected. And if you think about this, and if you know about research, at least a little bit, if you know how the people are working on research projects, what do you think is the skill, research skill, that you want to see in your kids? Your opinion. What do you think?
I don't think I received the question.
Okay,
I can give sort of an answer to this. So I have a small kid, and I'm constantly observing her of what she's doing, how she's, like checking things and trying to see what's working, what's not. So what I'd like to see, and I'm happy to say that I can see it, is that she's very curious how things are working, let's say the phone or the remote control, whatever the case might be. So she needs to be, you know, our kids and future employees, they need to be curious, they need to be willing to learn, to try new things constantly.
Well, I would say that there are two main things for me. Obviously, curiosity is one thing, but any person with authority should, and parents are certainly in such a position, they should think that they should encourage curiosity. They shouldn't always go behind their children and basically whenever they exhibit curiosity, they get slapped on the wrist or told, don't do that, don't touch that, it's dirty or whatever. And it's just curiosity. And within a company, the same things apply. You should allow your staff to experiment with things, regardless if it's the R&D department or not. Just to give some scale, because I forgot to do so, we are over 800 people in 5 delivery offices and also 4 sales offices around the world. And the R&D department, currently 27 people are working on entirely R&D projects, and 54 people are working on R&D related stuff such as MVPs, POCs, and so on. Curiosity, so you should allow people to fail quickly. And by fail quickly, I mean try out things. If that doesn't work, allow them to fail quickly and encourage that. And there is a saying, Jeff Bezos coined it, the first day mentality. So you should always experience things as a company or as a person as if it's your first day on the job or first day on whatever. You should be curious about things, you should try out things and meet people and so on. And that curiosity brings everything, the business or yourself personally and so on forward. So that's quite important to be not only encouraged, but also if it's short term, we should definitely encourage it.
I would like to add, you have to challenge the already established things in the world, like solutions, products. Once you challenge them, you see what they're missing. So then curiosity comes in, and then innovation comes in, etc. So you have to challenge what has already been established in order to enable.
Okay, so actually, so there is one raised hand, but I will give you the floor later. So actually, there are some things that we agree. There are a lot of things that probably we're not fully agree. So this question is very difficult, and but for sure it is important, and we need many times to speak about this with different people in order to clarify the positions, because it's not a good idea to have a different definition of this, to have a different view of this, because expectations will be different. So I want to thank you for sharing your experience in the companies. Because you are in the process, actually, it's not some kind of theoretical view, you're really in the process, and you can take other places in order to let me to do some game with the audience. Thank you. So I want to invite here 3 people who are 3 high school students, and because I am seeing you on the second line, please come here. I'm sure that you are not afraid to speak in English, yeah? Thank you. Please welcome. Sorry for that, but I really want to do surprises. I did one my research for the companies around in the city of Varna, in the region, and for example, around 40% of them, they say that they think now they need people who are researchers in their companies now at this moment. Another 40% say that they will need another 40%. They will need such type of person for the next 3-5 years. So this is very, very important. The situation in the country, for example, and the businesses that I'm watching about is the following. In a lot of companies, they say, okay, we need researchers. What we have to do? We can take several people that are more clever, with more analytical things, and we'll tell them, you are the analytical things. It's a little bit funny, because they are not prepared. They don't know what the research is. Actually, the research is not only for curiosity, but a lot of different things. So these people has to be trained. If we need, for example, one person to use a particular technology, this person has to be trained. But if we need this person to be a researcher, even though for business, it has to be trained too. So that's why we are here, to speak and to engage each other in this training process of researchers. And now, several questions. What do you think about you, every one of you? Please answer and pass the microphone to the next person. Please take this is your floor. Okay, so the first question will be, do you think that you like to be a researcher?
Yes.
Why?
I think it's
because of the branch of your school?
No.
No. By the way, do you know that this type of symbol, but actually not this with these two stupid blues sides, colors, but this sign actually is made from me when I was teaching there, and this was one bracelet here. It's not for this. I will not say nothing more. My designer skills are fighting with me. So, and when I created this, I was too young, and it was, for example, before 15 years at least. And when this was produced in a company, in Plovdiv, one company producing such type of things, they're telling, oh, this is done by teachers, not possible. So this was the first good thing that I received in my life, that I'm good in design, but later I understand that I'm stupid enough, because if I was clever enough, I will do a lot of things in order to go to license this, to have some rights on this, but I do not know that. So we can see and find out research in different places, not only in biology, math, whatever, computer science. So why do you think that you would like to be a researcher? Do you have an idea?
No.
No. Do you have such type of practices to work with somebody else to do some kind of research?
Well, I'm starting to learn about research this year with my partner.
Okay, so he's the leader of the group of researchers, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but pass him the microphone.
Yes, of course, I want to be a researcher. For example, I have learned so many things by research when I start a new project. Even if I don't know how to make something. For example, I started supporting a website, an online shopping site, which belongs to a friend of my mother. And I didn't know anything about PHP or Zen framework or whatever, and I learned it in the process, only by research.
So this type of thing is actually the ability to learn something very fast. This is very important for software companies because the technologies are changing and every one of our staff in a software company has to change very rapidly. Okay, but what about research? As the people from companies say, they say that, for example, they are trying, one of their experience was mentioned before here, that they are trying to decide a task in another way. They are trying to solve a problem with another way. So another possible idea could be to apply one thing that is famous, important for one type of problems, and to apply this for absolutely different types of problems. Did you have such experience?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay, it's your nature. Okay, please pass the microphone.
So I would like to be a researcher, and the reason is because it sounds like a nice challenge for everyone, because it is like I would say solving a puzzle where you find the pieces yourself, and you have to find the information and then solve it, like match a path, I would say.
Okay, and both of you please vote, raise your hand. Do you want to do research alone, or you prefer to go in teams? So, do you want to go to do research alone? Yeah or no? And in teams? Okay. So, you are not a representative statistically, but anyway, it was very interesting to show to the audience that we have thinking people in front of us, first of all. It's important. And then they have desire. It's important. But what to do with people who have no desire? It's another meeting, another conference, not today. So here we have brilliant people who want to do research. We have to speak with them during the breaks, and we have to engage them with something. And they have to study ethics, company ethics, ethics for researchers, and not only techniques and technologies how to do this. So thank you very much. Thank you. Now, I really want to invite a lot of you, but because I know that some of you will go here later, so I will please you when you come to speak for you can discuss this topic too, because topics are connected, and everything actually is connected. So, hello, could you come here? Okay. Faster, faster. So, could you come here? Yana, please. A very funny thing is that I know most of you, so I know how to joke with you. So please, not only her, all of you, your colleagues, please welcome. Welcome. Please, don't be ashamed, please. Now. So, I think that I have a prediction. It's modern to say I have a prediction. So I have a prediction. These people are from medical university, yes? Yes. Okay, so these people are very good people who are interested in research, and we are speaking with our colleagues at medical university to involve them in this type of activities. And especially one person for me is very important, because Yana is one of the model of new type of persons as a career. This is a hybrid type of person where she studied two specialties in two different universities at one and the same time. She studied medicine and also she studied computer science. So, congratulations. But exams and difficulties are exams, and they will be. So nothing more, nothing less for brilliant people. So all of you things will be. Because you don't know for what we are speaking about before you're coming, I want to tell you that we are speaking about research skills and research careers. We know that you maybe are going to be doctors. Maybe you will be, I'm sure you will be a good doctors. But do you think that being a practitioner, I don't know exactly the word, we will tell the word more precisely. Do you think that, for example, general practitioners can do some kind of research in their work? Or if you want to be a researcher, what type of career you're thinking about. So please take the microphone.
Hello? This is good. Okay. So, in the general sense, I wish to be a doctor and a medical practitioner, mostly in the Red Cross or the more active, if you want to say, of doctors. I want to go around the world and see a lot of people and help a lot of people if I can. But later in my life, I'm thinking of becoming a researcher if I can. And to be quite honest, every doctor and every person actually can become a researcher. We now are studying social medicine and biostatistics. And we are taught there, amongst other boring things, how to read and how to understand a piece of information, and how to give information from other people to other researchers or to other research groups. And the funny thing about the doctor is you never know what patient is going to come from that door someday. So the best thing you can do is write down what his specific illness is, or what type of problem there is, and write down not his name, but his ethnicity, his age, his weight, these kind of things. And from there, you give them to a bigger research group, because from them you get vital information on some sicknesses or something. But everyone can at some point. But I have to say, I've spoken to many medical personnel in my university, and they have said that you cannot be a practitioner and a researcher at the same time, because there's just a lot of work you have to do. And I kind of that broke my heart a little bit. But yeah, that's.
Is this all from the group?
I can speak a
Okay.
lot more.
So it's some kind of a team leader. You summarize everything. You know what is in their heads and to summarize.
No, I'm just the previous. They got me.
Okay, we'll speak with you later during the breaks. Thank you for coming, and please take a seat. Thank you. I know that your lecturers who are here will comment this topic later. I know that they are very engaged in this topic, so I will not give them the floor now. They will speak later. And now I think it's a very good idea to have a 5 minutes break, and let's start at 11. Okay? Thank you.
Não,